good people go to heaven and bad people go to hell. That's a belief that many people have had or even still have about the good place you go if you die, and then the bad place for bad people if you die. But the Bible speaks differently about who's with God and who's without God when everything is said and done. In Revelation 21, which is the second to last chapter in all the scriptures, God is talking and he says, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty, I will give water without cost from the spring of the water of life. Those who are victorious will inherit all this, and I will be their God, and they will be my children." God calls the people who are with him in heaven his children. But then it says here, "But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death." So there's a distinction. Those who are with God are called children, and those who are not with God are described with those characteristics. Here's the problem. I am guilty of all of those characteristics. I have been cowardly, unbelieving. I've been vile towards people. I've never murdered anyone physically, but I have had hatred in my hearts towards people. I have been sexually immoral. I have practiced magic arts a few times. I have had things in my life there were idols that I loved more than God. And I've been a liar. So the problem is all of us are on that list. So all of us are bad and headed toward a bad place away from God forever. So what's the difference between the children and the people on this list? The children have done all of those things on that list. They've done those things. Everyone is sinful. No one's less sinful than someone else. We've all sinned. But the difference between the two is what the person did or did not do with the person of Jesus Christ. Prophets said that Jesus was going to come at a specific time in a specific way, and he did. They said he was going to perform miracles, and he did. They said he was going to be crucified, and he was going to raise up out of the grave and walk alive after he was crucified. All of those things happened. There were witnesses who saw it and believed it, and they even died for what they knew was the truth. And so when I look at the history of Jesus, and then I look at all that sin in my life, I realize I am sinful, and I want to be adopted. And so the only way we can become a son or daughter in God's perspective and eyes is through the work of Jesus and us putting our faith in Christ and faithfully following him all the days of our life. Not being perfect, but being faithful. Everyone is headed to be away from God. The only way we can become adopted is by the work of Jesus. Those who will not accept Christ and his work, they will be orphaned forever, and no one is coming to pick them up. That's why we are called children, those who are in Christ. I'm not a child of God because I've acted right. I am a child of God because Jesus acted perfect, and I put my faith in him, not in myself. Who have you put your faith in? Have you accepted Christ? Are you a child of his because you've been born again, or are you still on that list? My prayer for you is that you will look to Christ in order to be adopted into the family.